So the other day I was talking about some of my favorite gel eyeliners, and one of you guys actually reached out to me saying like, hey, how do you actually do eyeliner? Because you know, it's one of the most like pain in the butt makeup steps. You need the mental capacity to do it. Like if you don't have the mental capacity, you don't have the time, you don't have the confidence, sometimes it can be really, really hard to make your eyes look nice and defined. So as a makeup artist, I practice quite a bit on like models, myself and everything. I want to show you some of the steps that I would do. I'm actually about to put on some eyeliner, and you can see right now, my eyes are really, really small looking. It just looks cute kind of thing, because my glasses, we're talking about 700, 800 degree glasses, so girl blind is a bad. So to start it off, I am usually using skinny pencil like gel eyeliners. We're talking about like to the right? I used to use these like bigger, chunkier ones. Like there's nothing like wrong about it, like something like this. But I find that in order to get the most like precise line, usually I would prefer something skinnier like this. This one's from Canmake. This is the Canmake Creamy Touch Eyeliner. If you've been here long enough, you know. This is one of my favorites. So I've already gone through like, I think this is like my third pencil of this at this point. So this one is in brown. I also usually like to prefer to use brown over black, because personal preference, I feel like black's a little bit too harsh, brown's a little bit more softer, a little bit more forgiving, just looks nicer in my humble opinion. So alright. So right now I have nothing on, right? For the Canmake Creamy Touch liners, you just have to twist it up ever so slightly. Like, I think this is a bit too much product also. My biggest tip, if you want to see the most noticeable change without making it look like too off, for a lack of a better word, is to actually tightline your lashes, your upper eyelid. So basically, I'll twist it up like this much over here. Also, sorry if I'm squinting because your girl can't see. This is whole blurry to me, alright? Basically, what I would do is, if I'm doing it myself, it's not that bad, but like, you will want to use your finger, lift up the lid, alright? Basically, you will want to draw like this portion, like right over here. And you would just want to color it in. If you feel like your eyes are like watering, or it's, you know, like doesn't feel right, you would just want to take some quick short breaks in between, and then you just continue and go back in. So you're coloring the lash line like right over here. Do not like lift your entire eyelid and then you try to like color like underneath your lashes. Like that's not the line. The line is basically this portion, like right over here, like literally your lash line. And doing it like this is probably like the cleanest way to get a nice tight line. So right now I'm sitting like this, right? My table is like right over here, okay? I'm putting my elbow like down on the table here, and then I just like hold it in place like this, because I need this hand to be steady. Hold it up, and then like I just like go in and color like that. It's either like this hand is steady, or if not, it'll be this hand. If not, it'll be this hand, right? I'm literally placing it as an anchor down on the edge of the table. Sorry, it's a shitty angle, I know. But like, you put it, the elbow on a flat surface, and then you just like draw it like that if you need the extra assistance. Because I know sometimes when you're rushing in the morning, in the day, it's just like, oh my god, I need to get it on, and then like the hand starts to shake. I've been there as well. So like, sometimes it's just like, you gotta see, one hand has to be an anchor. That way it gives you more confidence. And also, you know, doing this repeatedly multiple times, it'll give you the confidence as well for you to nail it down. So yeah, right now, oh, I just dropped something, I don't know what is it, but like basically right now you can see my eye over here, it is tight lined. Yeah, and you can see that from afar, compare this eye with nothing on and this eye. I know there's like a slight baby wing, but if like we ignore this, it looks naturally enhancing. I think if you like a little bit more definition, you definitely can go in with a black eyeliner, but a brown like this is what I usually prefer. Throw on some mascara and it looks really, really nice. Tight lining always will work, because regardless of how your eye shape is, tight lining just your lash line itself, right, guarantees that at least the lash line is very defined. Also, tight lining your lashes helps to add some, like, mimic some volume for your lashes, especially if like sparse straight Asian lashes. It's gonna be a game changer, so that will definitely help. If your eyes are like mine, you have like a little bit more like lid space, right? And for example, like when you open your eyes, the mobile lid doesn't just like eat and disappear into everything, right? You can just draw like a little bit over, like right over here as well, just to add like a little bit more of that thickness if you prefer for your eyeliner. And yeah, that's more or less it. I will just like leave it like this. I wouldn't bring the eyeliner any further up. And it's also very important to keep checking your face, your makeup in the mirror, every step, every small step. Just make sure to look in the mirror, open your eyes, look directly into the mirror, because I mean that's how normally your eyes open majority of the time. If you keep like looking down, you keep closing it and just keep drawing it on, you're like, oh, I want it thicker, I want it thicker, I want it thicker. Then when you open your eyes, you see that, oh my gosh, there's like this splotch of like thick eyeliner. Then yeah, so biggest tip, always check in the mirror. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye right now. I'm gonna lock in. I'm not gonna yet. If you feel like you missed out some parts, like sometimes I'm not careful and I'll miss out like this part, maybe I'll just go back in and just like define it a little bit more. And then afterwards, I will like kind of smoke it out like a little bit. Normally I like a bit more of a wing, which sometimes not everyone of my clients like it. So this is a personal preference thing. You can just, you know, play around with makeup and see what suits you, what do you like as well. You don't have to listen to me if it's something that you don't like. Maybe not like the baby wing, then you just like stop literally at like right over here and you're good to go. Like literally, you don't have to do or copy whatever I do. But the technique of like thickening like the lash line itself, like drawing the lash line, I feel like that's like the easiest way to make your eyes look naturally like more defined. No lah, no lah, where did the cap go? Oh, the cap is there. If I were to put on my specs now, you can see that my eyes doesn't look so like lost in the face. One more tip, if you live in like a very like humid environment like me, I live in Southeast Asia, Singapore, it's hot, humid, sweating, my elbows are sweating right now. Actually take a dark brown eyeliner or a black eyeliner, depends on whichever color you use, and then I would just kind of powder it on top of the gel liner. It's kind of like the same concept as liquid foundation and powdering down your face, where in this instance it's basically the gel eyeliner is like your cream or wet product, and then the powder eyeshadow in whatever respective color is basically the powder kind of locking the cream in place, setting it down and making sure that it wears much longer throughout the entire day. And if you want, this also helps to soften the line if you find that it's too harsh, or you want to like make it more smoky. If you have a more like dramatic eye look, you want something to kind of like blend between eyeshadow and eyeliner. This is one really good way as well. It's one of the techniques that I like to do. Yeah, you can see that the line here is much softer already. It's not as harsh, though I feel like this line is slightly longer than this line over here. Let me try and correct it a little bit. Also, I think another question a lot of people like to ask is, oh, like how much do I like tight line my lash? Ideally, it's the whole lash. If you look straight into the mirror or camera, for example, you can see the actual lash line itself, like certain eye shapes, where if, you know, you can see like that layer of skin, that line that is where all your lashes like sit on. I know a lot of people, I used to do it as well, but I'll just draw like on top, like this like top part of my mobile lid, and I will just ignore my lash line. The problem is that when you look straight at like a camera or something, or just in the mirror, you actually can see your lash line is unlined. There's just like this like beige reddish kind of color, that line just sitting there. So yeah, I actually found that once I started to do like tight lining and everything, I actually much prefer it. My lashes now look so much more like fuller. It looks way much more defined. It's not lost in the sauce, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, gonna throw on some mascara and I'll be right back to show you the final results. To run some mascara, I use this, the CLIO Lash Volume Curling Mascara, and this is what's on my eyes right now. And yeah, you can see that even with my spectacles on, this is actually like helping to open up the eyes a lot more. I feel like some days where I don't really want to wear like eyeshadow, I just want to have like something on my eyes, but just not eyeshadow, because God knows I take way too long with eyeshadow sometimes. And this is one of the easy daily eye looks that I can do anytime. It's very easy. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any more questions on like how to do like XYZ certain makeup style, or like just back to basic stuff like blush placements and everything, I would love to do it for you. So let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!